Landon Pavan here. We are staged at the Owlhead parking lot. This is a groomed area taken care of by Sled Sicamous. And the other day I helped my buddy there drive to Vernon and pick up a new Arctic Cat catalyst. Today gonna focus on the free ride here. Just install the clutch kit, and then I'm gonna play around with just the center spring, preload, and then the rear torsion springs, and kind of talk about how that makes a difference with hill climbing and what you can do to adjust things to make it better for you. It's really smooth engagement so far.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very smooth. Well, out of the wind a little bit here. I just wanted to talk about the clutching. So, Benjamin Seinen, SRP, Seinen Racing Products, just made this new clutch kit. It's working really good. Smooth engagement. It's getting 8,100 RPMs at 2,200 meters. Seems to be pulling really good. I'm happy with it so far. If you're looking to fine tune it a little bit, definitely recommend it. Yeah, it's easy to install as well with the correct tools. If you don't get the right tools, it is really hard to install. So heads up with that. For the suspension, just gonna show, ooh, maybe I should have adjusted this in the shop when it wasn't a giant ice ball. All my suspension is Enzo KYB, revalved by Tim Zachary's out of Rocky Mountain House. So stock suspension doesn't have this hose clamp collar as like a retainer, but this one does. So I gotta undo that, and then I can use the clutch, this clutch tool to spin the retainer. And I'm gonna tighten up the preload a bit on the front, increase the pressure that the front of the rails is putting on the snow there. And then I'm also gonna tighten up the rear torsion springs and see how it rides. Ideally it's gonna go up the hill even better, and later on I'll put this sled on the scales. Having the sled tilted takes a lot of the weight off of the center spring, so it makes it easier to turn as well. I might even be able to just do that by hand. So as you can see, I didn't measure that, but if I had to guess, I moved it down probably about 1/4 of an inch. Same handy tool. We'll go to number 3 actually. As you can see, adjusting the rear suspension a little bit like that was super easy. There's no like perfect way to set up your sled, or like a perfect setup for everyone. So you know, just kind of showing how easy it is to adjust. And a lot of people never touch their suspension on their sleds, and to me it's hopefully this can be a good reminder to play around with your own settings and see what works for you. So we'll go see how this feels going up a hill now, and then we might try out Brendo's new catalyst there as well. If you'll let us. Yeah, I can feel that made it stiffer. Also more rebound, a little bit bouncier, which I don't mind. That might be too much actually. We'll try it though for a bit. rear torsions tighter, which is lifting it up more preload, more pressure. It feels like it's keeping the weight to the front better and actually climbing better as well. And because I changed both of them at the same time, it's kind of hard to tell what increasing the preload on the center shock did, but I think it feels like it's grabbing the snow at the front of the track a little bit better for the starts going uphill. So like, where that'll make a difference is if you're stopped uphill slightly and there's a little bit more weight, a little bit more preload on that center shock, then when you're gonna give it gas, the front of the track is grabbing the snow and it's allowing it to climb up a little bit better. Where before, I could feel that it was the track was spinning a bit before it actually got and climbed up onto the snow. At the end of the day, it's all a matter of feel, and don't be afraid to adjust it, play around with it, and kind of learn to do by doing. Because it's easy to do and it's fun. So give it a try. How's the catalyst? Yeah, thumbs up. Want to try out the old skidoo? Oh, finger throttle. This cat is this is the second day on it, pretty much brand new. Surprised you're letting me ride this.
Yeah, last time you blew mine up.
Oh, kitty! It's pretty funny, a lot of people joke. Oh my goodness. This thing's tipping. And the tunnel is really slippery. So I have grip plates on the side of my tunnel, and riding a sled like this really makes me appreciate them. Man, your tunnel is so slippery. I almost slipped off.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking in my head. I was like, I gotta get the grips on that one.
Yeah, like holy, that seems slipperier than...
It's bad.
Maybe it's because there's so much.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah. Like I just went to carve and I almost slipped off. Well, I will say this feels better than their old chassis. That's just doing some downhills. Watching this video, you probably know about the 858 Catalyst. They just came out this year from Arctic Cat. It is cool that there's still innovation, as there is only 3 major sled brands now: Ski-Doo, Polaris, Arctic Cat. And Arctic Cat's the only one that doesn't offer a stock turbo from the factory, but this is their newest release. It actually sounds pretty good too. Ooh, look at that. We do have to be careful here. Nasty rocks.
I've seen that on the way down.
Was that a down line or an up line?
I don't know.
I think that was an up line.
Oh, some people just followed us up here.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, that's not just some people.
That's Booster.
Yeah, I think that's Donnie and them. CKMB, what are you doing in our zone, eh? So I'm definitely not a cat guy. But let me know in the comments if you like these things or not. I mean, a snowmobile's a snowmobile. We saw you guys go by and I'm like, oh, I recognize that helmet.
That's funny. It could be any three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the catalyst?
Well, it's surprisingly not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I run the grip plates on the side of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because this tunnel is like taller. Went to like do a downhill turn and just about slipped right off of it. But
yeah.
That's
nice.
all right.
Nice.
Is it CKMP day or what?
No, just fun day.
Yeah? Nice.
Yeah.
We got Shelly on her lightweight build. The whole CKMP crew. But I'll agree, my sled feels a lot heavier, a lot more planted, harder to side hill. A lot of that has to do with the custom suspension. Have it set up for really aggressive riding. Not exactly set up for downhill pow turns and you know, mellow side hills. And so not a great comparison to, you know, a really modified suspension wise skidoo to this, but even to a stock skidoo, this is very, very tippy, as it should be with a single rail underneath it. But you know, they're both good for different things, and it'll be interesting to see how this side hills and the really steep stuff do. Going into Brendon, it's been side hilling really well though. Maybe we'll go do some side hills and then we'll switch back. Oh, I used the key. Skidoo doesn't have a key. Seems like it wants to turn uphill. So that might be from my riding style. It does react to weight input a lot. It's got that washy feeling. I think it's from the Alpha. Well, if you're a cat guy, I'm sure you love it. It does feel good. Like from what I remember riding your Alpha.
Yeah.
It feels like significantly better. I even like the steering better.
Yeah, the steering, it doesn't have so many joints in it anymore.
Oh yeah.
They just put a U-joint like a drive shaft.
Yeah.
Right below. And it's connected down there.
Yeah, I like the steering better. But I still prefer my skidoo. These trees don't seem too bad.
I just came down right there, and there was a decent amount of snow right there.
Yeah, like we could even go down this a bit more. See how it is. Pretty cool though. Happy for you, Brendon.
Yeah. Hopefully it works.
Yeah. I really like how rigid the skid is on these. There's none of that washout. There he is. I'll follow you down for a bit. I also really like not pull starting my sled all the time. Looks like a fun hill right there to go up. I'm gonna try to do a little pull up through there.
Okay.
No skis at all. Yeah, I think it's revving better and it's climbing better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the suspension.
And the clutching?
Yeah, and the clutching. That felt good. Well, boogie back up there.
Yep.
I can't believe how close you are behind me.
Oh, I know. It's not doing all the unpredictable things that my Alpha did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I'm still thinking it's the snow conditions right now, because there's soft stuff on stop to like help with the really finicky balance.
Yeah.
But there's traction underneath.
It does seem to hook up good though.
I compared it to Dathan's sled and this one hooked up better than that 3.25 Polaris.
Wow.
Like I got on Dathan's sled when he tried mine.
Yeah.
And it spun. And this one just hooks.
Huh.
But it also doesn't cool my sled when I'm going down the trail, so that sucks.
Gotta get them pow turns in. Nice. Was that fun? Trying to do a park job there. Park job. Only counts if you can ride it out. That was fun. Oh, I'm glad I was going slow. What did I hit? Oh, just a rock. Just a nice rock. that was a weird one. My ski kind of went under it. Okay. I think we're gonna tiptoe our way out of here.
This area kind of scares me.
Yeah, I'm done playing in the rocks. Nice rock.
Yeah, but I'm looking at that stuff that we can barely see, but
we're gonna go down there and then up the tracks.
Yeah.
They call them a snowmobile for a reason, not a rockmobile. They don't like rocks. Which is pretty obvious. Recreation trail. Huh. That's interesting. Checking out this classic traditional drop that I do at Owlhead here. It's probably like a 20-footer. Nice landing. Kind of a sniper thing up there. I've never done it this early season, so it'll be interesting to see what the top looks like. Always worth checking it out. Make sure not gonna hit anything funny. This is a real slow one because if you go too far, it's not good. It's also nice, this one you can see the top of that tree there, so it's not completely blind. Okay. Oh, I almost went too fast off that. It's a real sniper drop there. Skis were almost to the flat. Oh, back at the cabin. See if the chicken breast is warm at all. Oh, it feels warm. Ooh, cabin's even warm. Tuck this in by the exhaust. Tin foil, parchment paper. Cooked it last night, but it'll be pretty good today. Full on chicken breast seasoned. Oh, that's actually really hot. Oh, really? Yeah, that was a good spot in there. Okay, we're back in the shop here, and we got the scales out again. Did some rear suspension adjustments, tighten up the preload on the center shock, and then tighten up the rear heavy-duty torsion springs that I have by 2, so they're sitting at number 3. And it was starting to feel really good. It was able to climb up out of the snow a little bit better. It was still super playful. Obviously, anything with a turbo is gonna be playful when you give it gas and pull back a little bit. But overall, I think tightening up the preload and adjusting the suspension like that made it climb better. And now we're gonna look at all the scale weights, so all 4 scale weights again, and then compare them to before I adjusted anything. If you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, you can go check out an older video of mine when I went through and I built this whole sled, and then you know, you can get kind of an idea of what I did before as well in that. So we're gonna go ahead and lift it up, and Brendon here is gonna help me put the scales underneath because it's kind of a 2-person job. Okay, so for the very back, we have 191.6 pounds. For the center shock, we have 39.7 pounds. For the right ski, 166 pounds. And for the left ski, 172.6 pounds. So I'm gonna write all those on a piece of paper, actually figure out ratios this time, and compare it to the previous numbers in the previous video when I was building this sled, and we'll check that out. Before any suspension adjustments and then after the suspension adjustments, So as you can see, the left and the right ski pretty much didn't change at all. I had the percentages written underneath each scale weight, and that's obviously taken from the total, and then figured out where the percentage of the weight is. The big difference is in the center shock and the rear shock, and before increasing the preload on the center shock, there was a very tiny amount of weight on there, 0.9%. And then when we increased the preload by about 1/4 inch, turning that retainer, we increased that to about 7%. And then the change came from the rear shock. So as you can see, it had 38.7% of the weight on the rear shock before, and then it went down to 33.6%. So kind of cool seeing those numbers. This is my riding position, chin over the bars, lower handlebars. I'm generally riding with my toes behind the chain case and the brake caliper there. And the numbers.
7 pounds difference between the back two shocks.
I'm surprised how weighted the center shock is. But it makes sense, standing directly over it.
They're all pretty much 180 pounds.
Yeah, it's 190 on the left, 182 on the right, 191 on the center shock, and 189 on the rear. With my additional weight standing centered on the sled, kind of mimicking where I would be with my riding style, my body positioning in the center there, it is pretty cool to see where the weight gets distributed again. Left and right ski, very even, pretty much 25% the weight is on the left and the right ski. So, you know, obviously that's 50% of the total weight, which goes up about 180 pounds. And then center shock is taking a lot of my weight. That jumps up from 7% all the way up to 25.4%. A huge jump in the weight there. That makes sense because obviously standing centered in the sled. And then the rear shock, it actually goes down, which is surprising. I was very surprised by that, so that's interesting. Went down to 189 pounds, and it's only 25.1% of the total weight. It's a learning process of what these numbers even mean, but it'll be cool to compare them to a completely stock sled. Kind of bummed that I didn't do this weight, scenario, or like do all these weights with these scales when this sled was completely bone stock, not touched at all. But I think I'll be possibly comparing it to the stock expert in a future video, and maybe even trying to set this up similar to that and see how it works. If you guys would like to see anything specific, let me know in the comments and I can play around with it. It is kind of neat to have these 4 scales and to be able to play around with it, show you guys, try to figure it out myself, figure out where the weight should be and what works. This seems to really work right now. It goes uphill really well, side hills really well. I like the amount of ski pressure that it has, holds the side hill very, very well in my opinion, and it's still relatively playful. It doesn't feel super duper light, but it does hold the side hill quite well. So, well, all done, wrapped it up in the shop here, done weighing this thing again. That was a great day of riding with Brendo. I think he really enjoyed riding his his new cat. And it's always cool to try other machines, get a feel for them. And it's always great that the manufacturers are pushing research and design, and the Alpha caters to certain type of people that bleed green, I guess. Not me specifically, I just like the color green, even though a lot of people joke and bug me about having a wannabe Arctic cat with my green Ski-Doo here. But I purely just have the green because I like the color, and kind of personal branding as well over the years. Yeah, but back to the sleds. It was fun too to adjust the suspension, see what difference it made on the scales. So that was cool. And if you have any, like I said before, if you have any thoughts or questions, opinions on what you might think
would make it even better to adjust. Let me know in the comments. Always curious to know everybody's thoughts, and you know, excited to play around with it even more this winter. It's still the very start of the season, so lots of time to figure it out and make it work as good as possible. And you know, looking forward to the rest of the winter. And there's going to be a new upload, new Mountain Standard Time episode every Thursday at 1:16 p.m. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next week.